welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and today we are going to be preparing 7 freezer meals. I am a stay-at-home mom and it can get chaotic. So there are just times that I would like to be able to pull something out of my freezer and just easily throw it in the crock pot or the oven and just let it be ready and available and simple. So if you guys want to simplify your life a little bit, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is brown a bunch of this turkey meat. I'm going to do 3 of these. It'll give me plenty for some tacos, the lasagna, and the spaghetti that I will be making. The good thing is the only thing I'm going to be cooking in this video is this meat here and some muffins. The rest of it, like the chicken recipes that I'm going to share, I just throw them in the bag. While the ground beef is cooking, I am going to go ahead and get started on some muffins. I think I'm going to start with the blueberry. This is just a simple, cheap one that I found at Walmart. It just asks for milk. You can definitely use your own recipe or find a good one on Pinterest to make, but I just wanted to make it easy this time since I'm getting freshly started on this freezer cooking. I'm just using the same exact bowl. I didn't even rinse it, but I am putting the strawberry mixed with the half a cup of milk in here. And then I'm going to get the other one started and get these in the oven. Okay, I forgot to put cooking spray on the first one. Hopefully they won't get stuck, but we'll see. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to this one. Since I don't have another one of these pans here, I'm going to go ahead and make these chocolate muffins into little mini muffins. With the 3 things of meat that I had, it equaled 5 pounds. Basically, what I want is about 2 pounds of it for my spaghetti and lasagna sauce. I am making and cooking it together, so it'll just be way easier to manage. And then the rest of it is going to be taco meat. So it really depends on how much you're going to use for tacos. If you wanted to make 2 or 3 batches of taco meat and you only use a pound, then I mean, it really is up to you. I had 5 pounds of meat here and I just separated it accordingly. We kind of have a bigger family and I like having leftover taco meat anyways for lunches. And my kids like extra meat in their spaghetti and lasagna sauce. So I am just going to split it in half, basically 2.5 pounds of taco meat and then 2.5 pounds to go in my spaghetti and lasagna sauce. Alright, so these did not take long. I took these ones, the small ones, out in 12 minutes and these ones in 14 minutes. I'm going to let them sit and cool while I work on the spaghetti and lasagna. For the spaghetti and the lasagna sauce, I will need 2 onions, 2 green peppers, 4 cans of diced tomatoes, 2 cans of tomato sauce, 2 cans of tomato paste, Mushrooms are always optional. I usually put 1 can. I am doubling this up. Usually it calls for half of what I'm showing you guys if I'm just making the spaghetti or if I'm just making the lasagna. But since I'm doubling it, I usually have double. But for the mushrooms, because I only usually use some of this can, I'm just going to use one of them because not everybody in my family likes mushrooms, but I do. So you can use 2 cans, you can use 1, you can use no cans. For my seasoning, I am going to use half a teaspoon of crushed red peppers, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of celery salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, and 2 teaspoons of regular salt. I do drain all of the liquid out of the mushrooms. Now I'm just dicing up the onions and the green peppers. You can do it 2 different ways. Honestly, this is the way I used to do it, but then I found an easier way. So I used to just dice it up like this, but then I got my food processor and it's so much easier to just dice things up like that. It looks more like a smoothie type kind of, but it still gives it the same flavor. Now I'm just going to cook them in a little bit of olive oil until they are more translucent. So if I was about to eat this now, I would just bring it to a boil and then I usually let it simmer for a little while and then I eat it. But I'm not even going to bother cooking it. I am just going to use it and set it off to the side for when I'm ready to make the lasagna and the spaghetti sauce. So these muffins weren't really necessary and they weren't even called, like I was doing 7 dinner meals, but I decided to do the muffins just because it's easy and I can just cook things while they're baking and cooling and all that stuff. But anyways, they're cooled now, so I'm just gonna bag them up. I am just wrapping them up in some wrap and then I am going to put them in a freezer Ziploc bag and then I can store them in the freezer. Honestly, my boys wanted them right away and they were eating them kind of fast, so I didn't even bother freezing them. They just really enjoyed them as a snack, so I put it in their snack pantry. Now for the taco meat, I just make it like any other taco meat. So I'm just gonna use this big McCormick taco seasoning and just measure it out to how much I need. You can use the packages. I just have this that I got from Costco. So for my package, I just used 6 tablespoons of the seasoning and now I'm just going to add water. I did not measure it. I never do when I make tacos, so you can measure it if you want to, but I'm just adding the water and I didn't even warm it up with the water. I'm just going to bag it that way. And here I am cleaning up just a little bit. You know, sometimes you gotta clean up as you're going because it'll be a disaster if you don't. Okay guys, it is now ready to assemble our lasagna. Yes, I love lasagna. I got some oven ready lasagna noodles, which don't usually work for me, but because it kind of soaked in the juice, it actually did work. I did cook this and it was good. I liked it. So anyways, I am using that, my sauce that I made, some ricotta cheese. I am just using half of this container of ricotta cheese. I'm going to put 2 eggs in it and mix it up, and then I'm going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese inside of the mixture. Oh yes, and of course I have some shredded cheese that I'm going to throw in there too. I just have a mixed, like Mexican mix that I got from Costco. You can use any type of cheese that you prefer. I am not measuring anything out whatsoever. I am just putting it the way that I feel like I would like it. So first I wanted to put the sauce on the bottom of the pan, and I did spray it first just in case, and then I layered a top of noodles, and now I'm just spreading the ricotta cheese mixture. And I think honestly I added a little too much ricotta cheese for my taste and my kids' taste, but you can add however much you want to. Then I'm just going to layer it with a shredded cheese and then another thing of the sauce. After adding the same layer again, I did top it with the noodles, and then my last layer is going to be the sauce on top, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with some more shredded cheese. You can never go wrong with too much cheese. For the remaining sauce, I am just going to put it in one of those freezer Ziploc bags, and that's going to be my spaghetti sauce. I did end up grabbing a pan that I could fit the bag around. It was a lot easier for me to dump stuff in doing it this way. For the spaghetti, you can bring it out the night before and let it thaw out a bit, or you can just use hot water on the outside of the bag if you forgot to, and just get it kind of unstuck to the bag, and then dump it in a pot and then bring it to a boil and put a lid on it while you're cooking your noodles and your garlic bread or whatever else you're preparing. Makes it super easy. For the lasagna, you are going to want to bake it in the oven on 375 for 50 minutes to an hour. Whenever I cooked it, it took about an hour, honestly. So you do want to bring it out the night before and let it thaw. For my taco meat, I'm just going to pour it in one bag. You can separate it if you have a smaller family. That would give you 2 easy meals. And yeah, just warm it up whenever you're ready to. You can thaw it, or you can use the hot water, like I said, with the spaghetti. And of course, I got a phone call from my son, Jaron. They were at a football game, so he did call me and I got distracted. Now we are going to make some honey sesame chicken, which is one I am really excited about. I just have some chicken thighs I had from Costco, some soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, sesame oil, and I have some raw honey and some olive oil. I already cut most of the fat off and washed these chicken thighs. I am just using 7 of them for this meal. I have enough to have 7 for all 3 of my chicken meals. These are super easy crock pot dump and go meals. So easy and so tasty. So I am just going to use 3 teaspoons of olive oil, 1 cup of honey, half a cup of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, and just a dash of salt and pepper. You can of course add sesame seeds to it as well, but I totally forgot to buy them while I was at the store. You can put them on now, or you can just sprinkle them on after or when you're cooking them later. Whoops, I realized I forgot the Worcestershire sauce, so I'm going to hurry up and add that really fast. All you do with this meal, you pull it out of the freezer. You don't even have to defrost it. I will just put hot water on the outside so it comes out easily, and throw it in my crock pot or my instant pot. For my crock pot, I will cook on low for 5 to 6 hours, or you could cook it on high for about 3 hours. Or even if you have an instant pot, you can just cook it in there for 8 to 10 minutes with high pressure. All of these chicken recipes are going to have the exact same cooking time, so yeah, it just makes it so much easier. Now I'm just gonna make some honey barbecue chicken. I'm gonna use this as pulled chicken for sandwiches. I am just going to put 1 cup of barbecue sauce. You can pick whichever barbecue sauce you use. I just use the original. Half a cup of honey, and then half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of ground mustard. You can add onion powder if you want to, half a teaspoon of it, but I did not have any at the moment. And then 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And I did sprinkle in some salt and pepper as well. I'm just gonna mix everything up in the bag, push out as much air as I can, and flatten it out. So it fits so much easier in the freezer if you just flatten all of these meals out. The next meal is going to be creamy spinach artichoke chicken. So good. I'm just going to use some garlic salt, salt and pepper, cream cheese, chopped spinach, artichoke hearts, some chicken thighs, chicken stock, some olive oil, and some minced garlic. Once again, I'm just throwing everything in the same bag. So my 7 chicken thighs. And then, oh, I forgot to also share, I was going to put some butter in here. So I just put a tablespoon of butter. I kind of melted it a little bit. The cream cheese is soft, and I am using half a container, which is 8 ounces. Then I'm just going to use a teaspoon of minced garlic. And then I just poured in some olive oil, probably about 2 teaspoons worth, and then half a cup of chicken stock. And I'm just going to use half a container of this artichoke hearts. It really depends on how much you want in yours. And then for this spinach, I am just using half of a bag. This bag was 12 ounces, so I just used 6 ounces of it. Once again, for all 3 of these chicken thigh meals, you will cook them the same. Just pull them out of your freezer and immediately put them in your crock pot. You can cook them on low for 5 to 6 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours, or you can even cook it in the instant pot for about 8 to 10 minutes. My last meal is going to be chicken wings. I always have this Kirkland bag from Costco, and I was able to get 17 to 18 wings in each bag, and it made 5 big bags. So my husband Lee is eating keto, and this is just one of his main meals. He told me he didn't really have a set amount that he puts in here, so I am just dumping in some red hot Frank's sauce, some Creole seasoning. The seasoning is so good. And then I'm sprinkling in some garlic salt. Then I'm just gonna shake it up. Super easy. Once these are thawed, you can turn your oven and preheat it to 400 and cook for about 25 minutes. We always cook it in the air fryer though, so we just have the setting, the chicken setting, and it cooks for 25 minutes in there, and it just makes it crispy and oh, so good. It tastes like fried chicken. It's delicious. All right, that is my meal planning and my freezer meals. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know. Give me a like and a thumbs up, and let me know if you would like to see more of these videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.